Hello, Divine Feminines. I have another Divine Masculine reading for you today. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm happy, as always, to be here to provide you with this reading, and I hope that it resonates. Your Divine Masculine has a funny way of dealing with things, wouldn't you say? I sure would. They are rascally little boogers, and they love to torture us. Just kidding. They don't actually love to torture us. It just seems like they love to torture us. And the word on the street is that it's part of the process. And that part's true. It's not because they like to torture us. It's merely because it is meant to cause you to go through an ascension. They're like this little conduit, catalyst, whatever you want to call them, that comes in and ignites something within you. And at first, it sucks ass because it's painful and it hurts. And they usually run away from you right after they tell you how much they love you and adore you and how much they want to be with you. Then poof, they're gone. And you're like, what? That doesn't make sense, right? Well, it only doesn't make sense because you were expecting it to follow the traditional romantic relationship, thing that we've always been taught. We think we meet this person, they're amazing, they're wonderful, which they are, because they are you, right? But they also are not your traditional romantic relationship. They are strictly here, you guys, strictly here to cause you, the Divine Feminine, to have a spiritual awakening. They ignite you. You want to know why? Because they are the positive polarity. They are the Divine Masculine. And that is the way that it works. I've heard people kind of argue the point about Divine Masculine being the negative polarity and Divine Feminine being the positive polarity, but that's wrong. The universe does not change its laws from here to here. Divine Feminine has always represented receptive. Divine Masculine has always represented positive polarity, right? Push energy. And we'll look at human bodies are a representation on the physical plane of the law of gender, which is masculine and feminine energy, right? And so on a physical level, we have men and women. Masculine energy, you can see just even in the way that we're structured, that men have on a physical level a certain kind of body part that is a positive or penetrating force, right? And the woman is, of course, the receptive energy, right? She's got the receptive parts. I mean, you look at tools and stuff, and there's the male part and the female part. This is something that we see, manifested on the physical plane. But this twin flame dynamic, this is not about gender, okay? This is not about gender. So you could be a man and you could be a woman. But if you are here watching tarot readings and going through spiritual awakening, it's very likely that you are a Divine Feminine energy, because the receptive energy, the conduit, is the Divine Feminine that goes through the spiritual awakening process, okay? And this is important to understand because your Divine Masculine is the positive polarity twin flame. And they are fixed energy, okay? They don't budge. Positive polarity is fixed energy, okay? Feminine energy is creative energy. It's not fixed energy. They ignite you, okay? That's because they are the positive polarity. You are the receptive one, and then you go through a spiritual awakening. You are the one who gets that connection to source, and it's because you are the receptive polarity. if you have, and we all have, all of us, our twin flames and us, we have both energies, right? And it's a little complicated to understand, but it's true. We do have both energies. It's the Kundalini energy inside of us on a physical and metaphysical level. We need to balance those energies out. When our divine masculine comes into our life, all of us, you guys, have been trained in this world to be in our masculine energy. It's been going on for quite a while now. Even with feminism, we have been trained to be in our masculine energy. And so when our divine masculine comes into our lives, we feel like we need to like make it happen. We need to like force it to happen, right? So if they run away from us, we feel like we have to chase them because, you know, we go through the suffering part and we want to like make it happen. We feel like our world falls apart without them. And oops, that is us being in the wrong energy. If we exhibit a push energy, it's like a north and a north pole of a magnet, right? They're going to repel each other. A south and a south pole would be the same thing. There's a repelling that takes place. When you exhibit that push energy, right? You hear people talk a lot about it. Like divine feminines cannot be in their push energy. They have to pull that back, blah, 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 blah. That's because you're the receptive energy. And if you are in your push energy, then you are creating a polarization between you and your divine masculine. Okay? You got to learn about these things. You got to learn about these energies, the divine masculine, the divine feminine energies. It's important to do that. So when you go within, aka be receptive, let the spirit flow through you, receive that, which is your divine feminine energy, the creative energy that you are, then you are no longer in your push energy. And then the polarization between you and your divine masculine stops. Now, this might be a little different than what you've heard before. I've done a lot of research on this. And it's, you guys are, you might disagree with me. And I would love to hear your perspective in the comments below. If you think that I'm not onto something here. But from all of the research that I've done, this is what I have found. And I know that there are a lot of twin flames out there that would completely agree with me on this. There's a lot of information out there about it. So anyway, let's get into this reading today and find out what's going on with our divine masculine, okay? The bottom of the deck, we have boom, 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 Tower in reverse, Tower in reverse. What is going on with our divine masculine with the freaking Tower in reverse? Interesting. Well, let's see here. Tower in reverse. Looks like divine masculine is going through a difficult time. They are experiencing kind of an oppressive energy, and they are very, very fearful of change. They need security in their life, but they are afraid of the changes that they need to take in order to achieve that security. So our divine masculine is in kind of a weird spot right now. They are about to go through some very difficult stuff because of the fact that they are resisting the change that is necessary in order for them to go through this ascension process. Because yes, as a matter of fact, they do. They go through the ascension process, just like you, divine feminine. However, it is not going to look the same as you. Why? Because they are the masculine energy and you are the feminine energy. Now, again, I want to stress, this is not about gender. We do see masculine and feminine energy represented in physical form, but this is not what this is about. This is about the twin flame energy, right? This is about between you and your divine masculine. And if you are here, it is because you believe yourself to be most likely the divine feminine. Typically, the divine feminine is the one, because of being receptive energy, that goes through a spiritual awakening. However, at least in this way, right? It seems to be like the case across the board. However, divine masculine still does go through it. It just doesn't look the same. They may not necessarily be consciously aware of the fact that they're going through an awakening. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, your divine masculine has a strong desire for security, whether it be monetary or, mental or emotional security. That is something that they are seeking and have been seeking for quite a long time. Maybe they grew up in a childhood where they didn't have that, and so they really, really want it. Maybe they did grow up in a very secure environment, and so they really want to recreate the same thing. Whatever it is, it's something that's very, very important to divine masculine, having this long-term security. And it may be across the board. I mean, it could be financial security, most likely. They're very, focused on that. But I think that that's because they feel that it gives them security across the board, right? Having financial security gives them security in all these other areas of their life. And so they focus in on that a lot. But it's really an overall, I think, for them. They just want overall security in every form. In their recent past, in the karmic situation that they've been dealing with, I think this is probably some kind of a romantic relationship that this is referencing. That's the sense that I get about it. They have gone through a lot of stuff, and I guess they've gone through some pretty heavy stuff. Like maybe it may actually have been several relationships that they've gone through. Not just one. They may be in a current karmic situation that is being affected by some of this old past energy, but they are experiencing certain kinds of stress and anxiety due to this old programming, old patterns that developed over a period of time from having maybe a string or a series of not so great relationships. It probably has made them quite untrusting towards their partners. Maybe they have certain kinds of attachment issues. They might have some unhealthy attachment styles. It may be possible that probably they're just choosing poorly because there's something in them that needs to be healed. And so the fact that it keeps manifesting over and over again in different relationships, the common denominator is your divine masculine. They're the ones that are picking these people. And so there's something inside this divine masculine that needs to be healed. And so a period of recovery has been necessary for your divine masculine in order for them to kind of get past these old patterns and so that they can create something different. I have a sneaking suspicion you have played a role in this, divine feminine. And kind of as I suspected, you have played a specific role in kind of causing your divine masculine to have to take a hard look at certain things about themselves that they don't particularly like or they haven't wanted to. But that's exactly what twin flames do. They do it for you and you do it for them. You guys are like mirrors of each other. And so something about you has triggered them to have to look at parts of themselves that have been hidden from them. May be obvious to other people, but they're not aware of these particular behaviors. But they are really hitting them like smack in the face right now. They have to look at them. They've become glaringly obvious to your divine masculine, and they realize that they've struggled a lot with certain kinds of immature behaviors. And they are feeling regret. And that's a good thing, actually. They feel regret and maybe some shame in how things went down between the two of you. The reason why I say it's a good thing is because they needed to acknowledge what they did. They needed to acknowledge what they did, and they needed to acknowledge how they handled things, because they didn't do things in a way that was like healthy toward a relationship. And again, that's because it's old energy that has to do with this. This is the way that they've been plugging along the whole entire time. And then now all of a sudden they have to look at this and go, oh crap, you know, this brought to light some things about myself that I was completely unaware of. And so in a way, they're very grateful for it, but they also feel extremely bad because they know that you're really special. They know that they have had something very special with you, and that they shouldn't take it for granted, or they shouldn't, you know, make some of these mistakes. But it's like Eckhart Tolle says, suffering is only necessary until it's no longer necessary. They have suffered, but it's only been in order to learn a lesson. And bringing those shadows out into the light is exactly what helps us to like dispel these shadows. And so that's what happened when they met you. Some shadows came out, and they had to shine that light of awareness on them. And that's kind of how Divine Masculine goes through this awakening process. Like, you are very aware after you've gone through your awakening, and you become more and more and more aware. They become aware, but they don't know that it's because they've gone through a spiritual awakening. All they know is that you were special and that something changed when they met you. So currently, this has brought Divine Masculine into a place where they are figuring out their life's purpose. They are getting clarity, and they're making an actual solid decision toward manifesting the purpose that they want in life. They're honing in on that like a bullseye, right? Like, they're like, okay, I know what I want now. And it has to do a lot with the old stuff that they went through, with the karmic situations, the string of karmic situations, and then you, Divine Feminine, meeting you and having no other choice but to look at like, okay, what have I been doing to screw things up in my life? And once they were able to do that, it's like, oh, now I can see with clarity what direction I want to go in. And this is pretty profound. All right. Your Divine Masculine didn't see this coming. They really didn't. There's this energy that is coming from this karmic situation currently right now. Even though they knew the relationship wasn't good, like they knew that there were things that were bad, they didn't expect their karmic to do what their karmic did. I don't know for sure what the event was that took place, but it really caught your Divine Masculine off guard. They just didn't see it coming. They, as a result of this, are completely unwilling to stay committed to this person. They don't want anything to do with this relationship anymore. Depending on how entangled they are in this, like depending on if it's a marriage or if it's like a long-term relationship, if they live together, if there's potential children involved, it may take them some time to get out of this situation, but they know for a fact that they no longer want to be in it anymore. And that is part of that clarity that they have gotten through this other stuff. But whatever the karmic did, whatever like transgression took place, this betrayal that happened to your Divine Masculine, it like sealed the deal. It's done and it's over with. So your Divine Masculine is going through some massive unexpected changes in their life. I think that they're in many ways they're excited, but they're also scared shitless right now. They really are. Toward you, Divine Feminine, they know that you've been going through a whole bunch of stuff. Like, they're picking up on this intuitively. They may have like noticed certain things in your behavior and, you know, in your voice, your tone, how you've been acting and behaving, but they can see that you've gone through some pretty severe suffering. And it's probably that dark night of the soul energy that you've been experiencing. But they're going to come in with a swiftness with some news about their current situation. They're going to be like very quick to come in and tell you, because they need a little bit of like hope right now. They need a little bit of like tenderness and like an ear to listen to them about what has recently happened between them and their karmic. Now, I would be careful, Divine Feminine, by getting too emotionally involved at this point, because your Divine Masculine is going through a massive shift and change. And so that is going to create like some instability in them. Like they're just not going to be quite ready to like show up for you in like a super committed way. But it's 100% because they just have to figure this stuff out first. But at this point, they know that you're part of the bullseye. Okay, so that's why they're going to come to you with a swiftness, and they're going to want to like talk to you about it and let you know what's going on and communicate with you, and also to apologize and let you know like that they have learned some things, and to try to like alleviate your feelings of like responsibility in how they acted and behaved. Okay, now you're going within and you already know what your responsibility is in that, because you are the Divine Feminine and you're aware of what's going on. But this news is going to come to you is going to be just as much a surprise and shock as it was to your Divine Masculine, because whatever this was, it was not good. It really wasn't. And if you guys want to like confirm or whatever, I'd be curious to hear a little bit of what that is, you know, like maybe the different experiences that you guys are having regarding that situation. Because whatever it is, it's a pretty major event in their life, and it might show up, it's definitely going to show up for you guys differently, you know, if you resonate with this reading. If you guys haven't already, please go to the description box below and look at the different discounts that we have right now. We have some discounts on our tarot readings. And then we also, so there's 20% off of all tarot readings right now. And then we also have 10% off of our personal coaching packages. So if you would like to go and look at those, right now is a great time to do that. We'll be having that special until August 1st. And then also we have group memberships. They're not very expensive. They're anywhere from like $20 to $40. It all depends on the kind of help that you need and how many calls you want to participate in. Of course, the Twin Flame calls, you get more calls per week, so they're more expensive. They're the $40 ones. But if you're not needing like Twin Flame guidance and you're just on your spiritual journey now and you just want to be part of the spiritual calls themselves, you know, you can join for as little as $20 a month. And so that's a great deal right now as well. And the group calls are awesome. You guys, we talk about so much cool stuff, and there are some super wise, you know, old souls in there that have been on this journey for a while that love helping people out. And it's a great community to network and to have people, you know, to talk to about this journey, because let's face it, sometimes the Twin Flame journey can be quite lonely. So go to the-conduits.com and check out our specials. And I'd love to have the opportunity to work with you guys. All right, so in the near future, 6 months to a year from now, your Divine Masculine is going to show up as the princess or prince charming of your life. I would still look at this a little bit of, well, how do I word this? Let it be what it's going to be. Because the reason that they're going to come in like this is because you are ascending at a rapid rate, okay? And as you're ascending, Divine Feminine, and really just neutralizing that energy that we were talking about in the beginning, that is going to ignite a fire in them, and they're going to come in with like googly eyes, and they're going to really, really be kind of hot on your tail. And that's not a bad thing, but just be aware that if you turn and start focusing your energy on them again, similarly to how you did before, that repelling will take place again. So just stay neutral and just allow it. Keep your faith and your trust in your journey and into source. Be that receptive energy for that higher power that you are, okay? And then, enjoy the fruits of your labor. Karmic situation at this point will be done and gone. So the breakup, the divorce, the arguing, all the regrets, bad choices, that's going to be like finalized, and a lot of healing is going to have taken place in your divine masculine. And they're going to very much seem like a different person in a lot of ways. And it's because they're going to be more themselves, like who they truly were, like who they really are meant to be. Because they've let go of a lot of the crap that was holding them back and oppressing them. Again, the start of this was all about some kind of change that was like brewing for divine masculine, and a fear of that change, needing that security and not ever really having it, going through some major shifts and then having clarity. And then this big giant freaking event, this moment where it was like, all the dominoes fell and they had no other choice. It was like, okay, that's it. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. And boom, even though it hurt divine masculine, they actually could see on some level that it happened for a reason, because it needed to happen. And then they wanted to focus on you, because that's where they truly wanted to put their focus anyway. Now they're coming in with like more of a healed heart and being more like authentic and true to who they really are. And this stuff it's over. Like the divorce is like already filed, and maybe even already close to even being, like the judge may have signed off at this point. It might be completely finalized. Or the breakups happened and they've moved out and they are not even talking anymore. There could still be some entanglement with children, and that's okay. With the, Eight of Cups, there's moving on involved. So they've moved on in their heart, they've moved on in their mind, they've moved on in their soul. They're no longer attached to this person. But if they have children with them, the connection as far as like having to deal and co-parent could potentially be there. But if there is no children involved, then they're not even talking to this person. They don't even know what's going on with them anymore. Toward you, they realize that it's time to compromise or make a decision, right? They're perfectly fine with that. They already kind of know what they want. They realize and recognize the importance and the value of the connection that they have with you. And, you divine feminine are going to kind of determine in many ways how this relationship develops, and whether or not you're even interested at this point. It's not like you'll reject your divine masculine. Of course you wouldn't do that. Like what I mean by that is you wouldn't like outright be like, screw you, buddy, I don't want anything to do with you, because you have an unconditional love for them. But you may or may not want to embark on a romantic relationship with them. You'll just have to see how you feel at this moment. Your divine masculine is definitely going to look at this like a challenge, and they're going to want to pursue it. And then you're the one who's going to be able to decide, do I want this or do I not want this? And it's going to be a personal decision. I see it happen differently for many different twin flames. Not everyone chooses to be with their twin flame. Sometimes they choose to be with the soulmate. But the thing is when they do, it's because they know, they have an inner knowing from having gone through this journey and this spiritual awakening. They're so tuned into source. They know like what it is that they want to do and why they're doing it in this particular lifetime that way. The clarity will be there for you, divine feminine, 100%. And there will be no suffering and no pain regardless of the decision at this point, because you're going to be in your bliss and your happiness, and you know that what you're manifesting is exactly what you want. So why wouldn't you be? But it may be with your divine masculine. Maybe there's something that the two of you are meant to do while you're here together, but that's going to be up to you to determine. And, don't fret and worry on it. Don't even think about it, actually, because you're going to know already at that point. Like, you'll just know. There won't be anything to think about. The awareness will already exist within you. And so that's pretty dang cool, you guys. I'm going to give you an oracle card. And then we will sign off for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed the reading. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It really helps us a lot with our channel. And we want to reach as many twin flames as possible. So your support really means a lot to us. All right, let's see what this card means. All right, we have Malkuth. It's part of the Sephiroth, okay? Malkuth, keyword kingdom, is the 10th sphere in the tree of life. While it appears at the bottom, it is actually considered the top of the tree of life. Malkuth also represents the realm of earth, a reflection of the realm of heaven, and the representation of the material plane of existence. While Yesod is a sphere that channels, Malkuth is a sphere that receives. Divine feminine, receptive energy. Be it energies, thoughts, emotions, or actions, this is the sphere that allows tangibility out of the other sphere's emanations. When Malkuth appears in your cards, you are reminded that all things are a reflection of the divine and of the grand design. Why is the situation happening the way that it is? If you look at the situation from a higher consciousness, are there ties to other situations? All things have a plan, and Malkuth reminds you to be patient, for all is as it should be in the grand design. This is all about trusting the journey and knowing that it's showing up for you as it should. And this card goes very much in tandem with what I was talking about right here. You're just going to know at this point. You are so tapped in and tuned in to what is going on and why you are here and what your purpose is and the connection between you and your divine masculine, that you are going to just let it happen and let it flow, because you see like a master divine feminine. You see like an ascended master at this point. And you've worked hard to get to that place. It's not easy to go through this journey. It's not for any of us. It's not for the faint of heart. But you are not the faint of heart, or you wouldn't be going through it. You were ready for this, which is why it happened. So divine feminine, thank you so much for being here today for this divine masculine reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I would love to hear about what's going on with all this stuff in the comments below. And till next time, bye.